Boston college football. Bill O'Brien, talk a little college football. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Greg. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Wiggy is in Florida for an autograph signing, and I'm
nice.
using that in the singular. Like we
Come on, Wiggy.
we believe there may be one person that is looking for the autograph. So
Bill, all it takes is one. If you need me to run by the Hurricanes facility and get you some film or some hand signals,
yes.
I could do that.
Yes.
Connor Wiggy.
Yes. Now, I never crush anybody on autographs. I have the worst autograph in the history of autographs, so I don't get into that with anybody. But Wiggy, you'll have more than one asking for your autograph. I guarantee it.
Kind of interesting how autographs change through the years. Like the Tom Brady autograph changed a lot through the years.
Oh yeah, TB12 now, right? Is that right? Am I right about that?
Yes.
Yeah, you can barely read his autograph now. Before, I have his autograph when he first started. It was nice. You could see the number. Now you can't see a number, anything. It's like, is this thing even real?
I remember when I was at the Patriots, like some coaches would like lay out stuff at Christmas time to like have different players' autograph. I never did that because I never wanted to be coaching a guy that I was asking his autograph for.
There was a crazy story about Brady in Tampa that they had a vacant locker right next to him where everybody in the building would leave things for their family members for him to sign. And he would just do it over time.
Yeah, I was not looking for his autograph. I was just trying to gain first downs and touchdowns.
Do you stay in touch with him? Do you hear from him ever during the season, or?
Mostly text, Greg. Yeah, mostly text. Just checking in. I saw him at the, I went to the roast. I saw him at the retirement stuff like that. But no, just mostly text. He's a busy guy. A lot of us are busy guys,
Bill, moving on to BC football, the loss against Mizzou, you guys held in there till the end. But looking at Castellanos and that turnover, how have you felt that mentally he's been able to recover? And do you think that he'll be good to go come this week?
Yeah, he had a really good practice yesterday. We've got to do a better job of, taking care of the ball. I mean, look, there's some interceptions that are going to happen if a batted ball or bounces off somebody's shoulder pad. But when you force the ball into tight coverage or the wrong coverage, those are the things that we've got to stop doing. And if we do that, then we'll win games, because it comes down to, like, I try to explain to these guys a lot because of my experience. I really have learned over the years that it comes down to about 8 to 10 plays, right? And if you execute on those plays and the other team doesn't, then you're going to win, and vice versa. So, we got to really take care of the ball better.
Go ahead, Curtis.
Oh, no, it's Wiggy.
Oh, sorry.
Bill, I was just going to say, I know there's really no moral victories in football when you're a player or a coach, but I remember back in 2001 when we lost to the Rams, we kind of knew, like, okay, we could play with the best team in the league. Do you take anything away from saying we were able to go punch for punch with a team like Missouri that a lot of people expect to be right there in the mix? Do you kind of use that and say, hey, like this, we can play with the big guys and we can make a legitimate run on the playoffs because we've shown that we can go punch for punch with some of the best teams in the SEC?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly right. And I think that, that's what our guys have to understand. And again, going to Missouri's a really good team. They've got a lot of good skilled players. They're well coached. Their coach has been there this is his 5th year. He's got a good program going. And to go down there and hang in there with them, and have a chance to win it at the end, even turning the ball over the way we did, that's got to show these guys something. Now, the issue is, we got to fix those things, because if every game's going to be tough, Wig, right? This Michigan State team is 3-0. They're very good. They're very tough, very physical, very well coached. The guy they hired, Jonathan Smith from Oregon State, he's a really good coach. And so they've got a well-coached team. We've got to show up and play cleaner football, because that's going to be our formula for winning. And so, we got to get back to doing that. We did that in the first 2 games, didn't do it as well in the 3rd game. We got to get back to doing that.
Bill, we learned recently on this show that Wiggy was set to make $100,000 coaching Brockton High School. Are you making that much at BC?
When Wig got that job, I wasn't talking to Wig last year, but like I was so happy about Wig getting that job because Brockton football, being from Massachusetts, there's such a massive tradition. I'm actually friends with Tommy Colombo and some of the guys that have played there over the years, and so I don't know what happened there, but man, Wig, that was a great choice by them. I wish he was still there.
He needed an offensive coordinator. That's what.
It growing pains. But they got a great receiver down there. Take a look at him, Jaden Lopes Ribeiro.
Okay.
Great receiver.
Okay, Jaden Lopes.
Yeah.
All right, and then for a short period of time, I was available. So if he was still there, I would have probably thought about that, bro.
Well, there is a limitless budget in Brockton. I don't know if you've looked into it. They have plenty of cash down there.
Well, they still owe me $85,000 then, because they only paid me $15,000.
Good math.
We talked about it briefly last week, but I'd be remiss not in advance of the Red Bandana game. What this night has become, I have to say, I am not always positive about BC. They make a lot of mistakes. Letting me in was one. But the way in which they have honored and celebrated and sort of incorporated the Red Bandana into student life, beginning as a freshman, there really is no better representative for Boston College in service to others than Wells Crowther.
Yeah, no doubt. You just said it really well, Curtis. I would say this morning we're going to show the Ed Burns narrated ESPN film to our team, because a lot of guys, we have a lot of younger players on our team that don't know as much about it. And I was really fortunate and honored to be able to Zoom with Allison Crowther about a month and a half ago and really hear the story and the daily struggles that she goes through. But, you think about what Wells did, right? He rescued people, and he could have walked out and made it, but he went back up. He went back up to rescue more people. And I think that's really what it's all about. And we have to understand how important, this game is to the BC community, to people. We have to go out there and play well in honor of Wells. I think that's a big deal. And you're right. BC does a great job, with this game and the Red Bandana theme. It's really cool.
Watching that, the man in the red bandana is what it's called. Is Courtney recommended this year that
every year
watch it every year, and I watched it again. It is his story is so moving, and it's such a story of personal sacrifice for others. And I don't know about you, but I when I watch something like that, I'm always like, I wonder if I would have the courage that he had. And so it's an amazing story, and it is I'm certain going to be an amazing night on Saturday. So
yeah, I think about that a lot too. It's a great point you make, Greg, because I talked about that with Bears yesterday. Like I said, like he went back up. He let him down, and then he said, "I'm going back up to try to help more people." I don't know. It's just hard to say if put in that position, would you do the same thing? That's an incredible part of the story.
Can you ask Bears if he's pissed that Matt Patricia has his job now? Like I see Matt. I see Matt Patricia following Bill around down for Monday Night Football, and I feel like Matt Patricia took his job.
I am not touching that. That's not what I'm going to touch right now.
Yeah. Well,
they're both offensive coordinators, so
yeah, but Matt Patricia, you can say something to him and he doesn't get offended because there's not much offense in there, Curtis.
Hey.
But anyway, yes, go ahead.
Bill, when you look at Michigan State ahead of you, 3-0, physicality, that's what their team is talking about right now when it comes to your guys. It's going to be a physical game, both sides of the football. For you, how big of a test will this be in front of a home crowd?
Big test. I mean, it's a Big Ten team. Having experience in the Big Ten when I was at Penn State, I know what that type of football is all about. And they play a very physical brand on offense. They run the ball, and then that sets up play action. They take shots down the field. And then defensively, it's pretty amazing to watch their film because they really do get 11 guys to the ball on most plays. They swarm the ball, and we've got to match that intensity and then some. And I think that's a big challenge for our guys. I think our guys have had a really good week of practice. They understand the importance of the game. I've said this all along. I love coaching this team. They show up every day, and I'm looking forward to the game. But yes, it's going to be kind of one of those knockdown, drag out type of games, no doubt about it.
We talked a little bit about this yesterday, and I'm just curious your opinion as a head coach in college football. Shedeur Sanders would not shake hands post game because of some trash talk that happened beforehand. How do you feel about that? When just in general, it doesn't have to be specifically the player, but when your guys, you want them shaking hands afterwards?
Man, we could be here all day on this stuff. I mean, I just think that the whole social media and everything that's out there now, and these kids are always like scrolling on their phones, and at the end of the day, it's about going out there and being a really good teammate, playing as hard as you can for your team, playing at as high a level as you possibly can, which helps the team be good. And then at the end, you shake hands with the guy you played against. I mean, there's always going to be, with social media now, there's always going to be some back and forth and things like that. And that's just the way it is. But at the end, you have respect for the guy that you played against, and just shake his hand. I don't understand all the yes talking, to be honest with you. I do get it a little bit. It's an emotional game, but at the end of the day, it's really not what it's all about. It's about the competition, and I just love the sport because of it's a violent sport. It's a physical sport. You lay it all out there. There's no sport like it. And at the end, you got to respect your opponent, and vice versa. So that's just how I feel about it.
I love that answer, and that's why we love having you on. All right, well, go get them. Last one for me. Have you tried the meatball in a cup yet over there at BC?
I saw that sign. I haven't tried that. I gotta get. I love meatballs, so I gotta try that. I never heard that they had that here, but I'll probably try to get one tonight.
All right, yeah, maybe get one. Send Bears over to get one Saturday mid game, and then
no, he doesn't do that.
He doesn't.
He doesn't do that for me.
Okay. All right.
He's not in charge of my diet.
All right, Bill O'Brien. As always, great to talk to you. We'll talk to you again next week. Go get him on Saturday.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Bill O'Brien.